Papuchioe also asks, what do you think about the claim that the three kinds of animals for sacrifice in Leviticus 1 represent the three persons of the Holy Trinity? I.e., of the herd representing the Father, and he references the golden calf, of the flocks representing the son or the lamb, and of the fowls representing the Holy Spirit. Well, I think it's an interesting proposal. It's one I haven't seriously contemplated, though. There definitely are, at least to our minds, those three categories there. What I would have to do in order to consider this more fully is go back and look at Leviticus 1 and see how clearly distinguished these categories are. I have to think about it in terms of Hebrew thought and how did they classify things, because they may not have had a distinction between like in English, we typically have a sharp distinction between cows, sheep, and goats. We think of them as three different animals. But in ancient Hebrew thought, even though they knew there's a difference between a sheep and a goat, they tended to lump them together. And since all three of these types of animals are kept in groups for agricultural purposes, I would have to say, is there a clear distinction in Hebrew thought between oxen or cows on the one hand, bovine animals, and sheep and goats on the other hand? Do those form two groups in Hebrew thought, or do they form three groups, or do they form one group? They're all just herd animals. Or so I'd have to think about it in those terms, but I haven't done the research on that, so I can't give you a firm opinion, but that's my initial thought.
And before we go, don't forget to like, comment, share the podcast with others, and subscribe. When you subscribe, hit the bell notification so you always get notified whenever I have a new video. Thank you, and God bless you.